Hey everyone. Today's topic, it's okay to feel angry. Anger is one of those emotions that, out of all of them, we're pretty much told this one, above all, we should try to avoid feeling. We should try to suppress it the most, and that makes sense, right? Because out of all the emotions, it pretty much is the most dangerous one. If people are feeling angry and they act on their anger, they can often end up harming other people, harming themselves, and just basically not doing a whole lot of good for society. So it makes sense that this is the emotion that has that's the most polarizing, I guess. Anger is a really powerful emotion. But I don't believe society tells us how to deal with it in healthy ways, because suppressing it and trying to shut it off is not the right thing to do. We should instead view anger as an okay, if not normal emotion, right? Like everyone feels it. It's not a bad thing. The bad thing is acting on that anger, because you can feel incredibly angry but not act on it. It takes a lot of self-control and discipline, but it's possible. The reason why we all view anger as this horrible emotion is because most people don't know how to control themselves. So when they feel anger, they act on it. They beat people up, they punch holes in walls, they break things, they scream at their loved ones at the top of their lungs and say things they'll regret later on. That's how the average person handles anger. So no wonder we tell everyone not to feel it, to suppress it, to shove it down. But we should all strive to work on ourselves enough to be able to feel it, to be able to sit in it without acting on it, because that is a powerful place to be. That will allow you to feel your anger, but not let it get the best of you. That will allow you to release it, because you can't release anger if you try to suppress it. If you try to suppress any emotion, it doesn't go away. It's kind of like burying a bone underneath the surface, but all it takes is a few hundred years or however long before weather makes that bone come right back up to the surface again. It didn't disappear. That's the same thing with your emotions. If you try to suppress them, they don't go away. You're just basically shoving them down until at a later date you'll get triggered and they'll come right back to the surface and probably be even more explosive than they were the first time you felt them and suppressed them. So it's just in your best interest to get to a place where you view anger as an okay, if not normal emotion, because it is. It's something everyone feels. I was going to say healthy. I mean, it is kind of a healthy emotion if you just don't act on it. Like, it's a normal thing. You just really have to work on yourself enough to have that kind of self-awareness to know when you're feeling it, and then the self-control needed to not act on it. Because anger, it's super powerful. I mean, it can be used for a lot of good, like making change in your life. You can use it to propel you forward. People who get divorces from someone who is horrible for them use that anger to then push them further in life. They'll then hit the gym like a madman. Maybe they'll start making a ton of money, or they'll start making all these life changes to make their life better. And it was all pretty much like started from the catalyst of anger, like them being mad at their divorce and their spouse leaving them, their ex-spouse, should I say. So anger can be a very beneficial thing. We just have to channel it in the right ways. And if you aren't able to channel it in a healthy way, like going to the gym, or basically exercise probably is one of the best ways to deal with anger, in all honesty, because that allows you to let it move through you on like a physical sense. So you're literally dealing with the emotion in your body, and that's a very helpful way to use it. I can't really think of all that many other healthy ways of letting it flow through you quite like that. Like, exercise probably is the number one best way of dealing with it. But you can certainly use it to push you forward in life. So yeah, change the way that you view anger. It's not the end of the world. It's not a horrible thing. You just need to be able to control it. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because like an hour ago, I was actually pretty mad myself. There's been a lot of BS we've had to deal with, my roommate and I, over the 2 years that we've lived here, because of this nursing home out back behind us, and they're freaking smokers. It's been really annoying. We've called them tons of times trying to get them to move their smoking location, and then we've just been met with a lot of BS, and they haven't really ever moved it or changed anything at all, which means during the summer when it's really warm out, we often have our windows closed because if they were open, we'd be inhaling cigarette smoke. So it's just really annoying. And yeah, basically an hour ago, I'd had enough and I called them again and got the same BS, but only this time I actually got some useful information because their administrator was basically telling me that they were told to put their smoking area where it's at, which I don't really buy that all that much, because why would anyone tell them to put it in an area that's going to piss off the neighbors? But hey, I mean, I don't know who makes these decisions. She could be telling the truth. I don't believe her, but I'm basically going to call the department that she said told them to put it there, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this and basically, yeah, talk their ear off and say, hey, look, this isn't cool. So why the hell should we be affected by a business here when you would think a business in a residential area should be respectful and kind to the people living in that area? But that's not what's happening here. So yeah, you can already tell that like, even just talking about it is riling me up a bit. So yeah, you just have to use anger in beneficial ways, because I wasn't screaming at her. I was just being very, very short and not listening to a lot of what she was saying. Shouldn't say that. It was more so I was reading between the lines of what she was saying, and I basically heard a lot of BS and even called her out on it a bit. But hey, that's what happens when I get mad. I'm not gonna let people tell me crap and be like, oh yeah, that's true, yeah, totally right, yeah, I should just let you walk all over me, you got it, yeah, cool. Instead I was like, nope, screw you, I'm going to shove you down and I'm going to walk all over you. You are, yeah. There you go. I need to go like work out or something after all that. But basically, as long as you're not attacking people, screaming at them and that sort of thing, I would say you're using anger in a beneficial way. If you're using it to channel change that is beneficial, then there you go. So yeah, anger isn't always the worst thing, but I really freaking hope we can get some change here, and this living situation is driving me insane. It's one of the main reasons that my mental health declines over time so much, and I have to go take a vacation to see my family in Colorado because I need to get away from this freaking nursing home. I swear that thing causes so many problems for us living here. It's utterly ridiculous. It makes me fantasize about like if I was rich, I would just buy that whole property and just scrap it completely and just to spite them, but that would be a very dumb thing to do money-wise. But I don't know, that's where I'm at. Fantasizing about just getting rid of that thing entirely, even if it's a dumb business move, but whatever. Yeah, so need to get out of here. But oh well, there we go. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that in this video. So hopefully you got something useful out of here and it wasn't just me ranting about this living situation not being all that ideal. But yeah, hopefully it was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci.